Hey guys, ready for one of those history stories that'll make you go, wait, that actually happened? We've already talked about crazy experiments and ridiculous deaths, but today we're diving into a human invention that's both terrifying and, honestly, unbelievably stupid. We're talking about torture methods that were supposed to be scary, but ended up being more like a bad joke. Or maybe a good joke. Depends on your sense of humor. So get ready for the weirdest, dumbest, and most ineffective ways people tried to make someone confess. Our first stop takes us straight to ancient China, a place famous for genius inventions like paper, gunpowder, and, apparently, a torture method so ridiculous it feels ripped out of a Saturday morning cartoon. It was called the cat torture. Yep, you heard that right. The setup was simple, but pure comedy gold in terms of failure. The prisoner would be tied up and hung upside down. Underneath them, a bucket of water. And inside the bucket, a cat. Every time the prisoner swung, the cat got wet. And as everybody knows, cats hate water. So naturally, the poor cat would freak out and try to climb up the prisoner's head to get away. The result? Scratches, angry meows, and one soaking wet prisoner. I know, it sounds like a bad movie villain's idea, but it was real. And I can't help but picture the prisoner yelling, "Okay, I confess, I stole the rice. Just get this fur ball off my face." Now, if you thought China was the world champion of bizarre torture, hold on tight, because Renaissance Europe was all about theatrical pain. Allow me to introduce the Pear of Anguish. This device looked like an iron pear that expanded into 4 sections when you twisted a screw. The idea? Stick it in the victim's mouth, anus, or, yeah, you get the idea. Then crank it open, and bam! Supposedly unbearable pain. But here's the catch. Most of the time, it didn't actually do much. It wasn't fatal, it wasn't dramatic, it just hurt a little. Basically, it was torture that sounded scarier on paper than in reality. Like, "Sir, he refused to confess. We used the Pear of Anguish." And? Well, he mostly just complained that the device needed more oil because it was squeaking too much. And to top it off, most historians think it probably wasn't even used the way people claim. More scare tactic than real torture. Honestly, it's like threatening someone with a plastic spider. And speaking of stupid, let's hop over to the Ottoman Empire for something truly next-level dumb. The flea torture. If the pear was ineffective, this one was straight up a masterclass in failure. The victim would be locked in a tiny, dark cell, and the cell would be filled with fleas. The idea was that endless itching and biting would drive the prisoner insane and force them to confess. Sounds unpleasant, sure, but what the torturers didn't factor in was that fleas carried diseases, like, say, the Black Plague. So instead of a confession, what they actually got was a full-blown outbreak in the prison. Imagine reporting that. "Sir, did the prisoner confess?" "No, but now the guards and the executioner all have bubonic sores on their, private parts." And now for the grand finale, the king of absurd torture methods, the butter churner. I swear I'm not making this up. The condemned person would be locked inside a small metal barrel covered in spikes on the inside. Then the barrel would be shaken back and forth like some giant medieval maraca. The theory was that the spikes would stab the victim and cause unbearable pain. But in practice, the spikes didn't do much. The person just got tossed around like a human rattle. It was less excruciating torture and more annoying kitchen utensil nightmare. So yeah, that's human creativity for you. Brilliant when it comes to inventing paper and printing presses, not so much when it came to torture devices. If these ridiculous methods made you laugh, think, or just feel a little better about your own life, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want more weird, dark, and downright dumb history, don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which of these torture methods do you think was the dumbest? See you next time.